Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. We're going to give everybody a few minutes to jump in this morning as we're just making the room live, but we will have chat open. As you guys can see, we'd love to hear from you as we get going this morning. Hope you all have got your coffee and are ready to learn a little bit more about certificates.
Good morning, everyone.
All right, we'll give them to 10:03, Dana. What do you think?
I think that's good enough.
Now I'm going to be clicking away at the time clock there. 10:03, right?
Yeah.
All right, 60 seconds and we'll kick it off. Jeremy. Dana and I are both on that chat sync. All right, so as you guys have seen, we're going to be monitoring chat throughout our webinar today. We encourage you to share with us your feedback. Thank you, Jeremy, for sharing that already this morning. And we'll take any questions you guys have in regards to certificates. If you have any other questions in regards to your commencement announcements or spring achievements, you can reach us offline at help@meritpages.com. So let's kick it off. I know I said 10:03, Dana. We'll be there in a couple of seconds. This morning, you're joined by two of your Merit Client Success Managers here at Merit, and we're extremely excited to show you our newest feature developed by our team members, Matt and Ben. This is their brainchild, and we're so excited to bring you certificates as part of your achievement workflow. My name is Samantha Zavolinsky, and I'm joined by Dana Donnelly this morning.
Good morning.
All right, so let's jump right in it. Certificates, what are they and how do they work? So certificates, think of them as an extension of your achievement workflow. So they're going to be a printable certificate your students can access in their email as well as in their user profile and print them at any point. As you can see, one of our templates on the right-hand side here is a great way to acknowledge your students aside from just that achievement workflow, giving them something tangible in this super digital age. So what do they look like and how does that work from a student perspective? We'll get into the workflow shortly. Dana's going to walk us through exactly how to create a certificate this morning. But what is going to happen once you do issue a certificate for your students is they're going to see an enhanced email, which is what you see on the left-hand side of your screen this morning. This is the same achievement notification you're used to, except we now have a view and print certificate button in that email. So as always, the student can click view my achievement. They can go ahead and share right on social through the chiclets in the email, or they can go and print that certificate. And what it'll do is it'll lead them over to their Merit account. And in their Merit account, they're going to see a new tab called certificates. In this tab is going to be every certificate that student was issued through the course of their residency with you. And so in this example, you can see 2 achievements have been issued, and you can go in and pick which one you would like to print. Now, certificates work in 2 fashions. One, there is going to be a template you upload into your account, and then there is going to be the published achievement. On the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see the final version of the published achievement, which is what will be accessible via the email as well as the student's account right within Merit. On the left-hand side of the screen is the template that you will create and upload into Merit to issue each certificate. Now, Dana, there's a couple of things we should point out here in regards to how certificates function. They are a template across the achievement type. Do you want to explain that a little bit to our audience today?
Yes. So when you create a template for a certificate, what that means is that certificate is going to be applied to any achievements that the certificate has been made for. So if your students have been, let's say you created a template, let's see, which one do we have on screen here? Dean's List. So any of your students who have already received an achievement for making Dean's List in the past, once you create your certificate, template and publish it, then those students who have past achievements for Dean's List will then see a certificate appear within their accounts. So what is important to note is that once you have that certificate template created and published within your account, it not only applies to any achievements that you build moving forward, but it also applies to any students who have already been acknowledged from that specific achievement in the past.
So the beauty here is certificates are retroactive. One thing that will not happen for any past achievements is students will not receive a new email. The certificate will just be loaded in their account. Like we showed here, you would be able to go in and print out any past achievement and certificate. However, any achievement that you issue in the future that has an associated certificate will issue the email you see on the left-hand side of the screen. So if you have any questions, feel free to chat them through. We'll go ahead and answer them, but we're going to jump right into the workflow to show you exactly how this functions within your Merit account. And Dana's going to drop us over there, and then we'll actually show you exactly once we publish that certificate, what it looks like when you get that email and how to access it right within your account from the student experience as well.
All right, so once you are logged into your Merit account, what you're going to do first is go to your settings.
And while Dana pulls this up, we had a great question from Amber. Can there be more than one certificate template? So currently there can be multiple certificates. However, they are each tied to an achievement type. So for each achievement type, there can only be one certificate. So there can only be one for Dean's List, one for presidents, one for arts and drama, one for sports.
And you'll see, once we go to certificates here, you see you will have a new menu item over on the left for certificates. You can see that we've already uploaded a few different templates into this account. So like Samantha had said, you can upload one certificate template per achievement type. And we have a few already in here right now for an arts performance, an athlete of the week, as well as a more generic honors list certificate. But let's go through the process. Oh, go ahead, Samantha.
I was just going to mention, when you're looking at this screen, kind of to Amber's question, this is going to tell you the template associated with the achievement type, and we're referring to that as category. So if you were to have an achievement type called sports, and you issued an achievement for that sports category, this is the certificate that would also be associated with it.
Wonderful. So to add a new certificate, we're going to choose this button up here in the upper right. And now we are in the process of building out our template. So the first thing that we're going to do is select the achievement category that we would like the certificate to be associated with. I'm going to build a Dean's List certificate. And then I'm going to create an internal name for our account. You can also add a description. The description is seen by the student, just so you are aware. I'm going to pass that for the sake of our presentation today, but you can also add additional information in your description there. Next, what we're going to do is add our background image or our certificate template. So I'm going to grab my Dean's List certificate template, upload it, and you can see in the preview pane down here, we have our certificate template already uploaded. This hash marked square is where the student's information is going to be contained, overlaid on top of your certificate template. So I'm going to go through and start to edit where that student information is going to appear, overlaid on top of my certificate template, because of course we don't want their information laid over the in recognition of outstanding academic achievement. So what the workflow allows you to do is to select student names from your database in a variety of ways so that you can see how they will appear on the template itself or within the certificate once it is published. We have a few buttons for you right here, which will automatically randomly select a short name of a student in your account, a random name, as well as a long name. So you can make sure that when you are building out your template, it is set up to accommodate both short names of students as well as perhaps some of the longer names that would be in your account. Now, we're going to go ahead and choose the type of font that we want, and I'm going to make that a bit larger. And we can also go ahead and choose a color here. I'm not going to get too crazy on that. but all of those are available to you.
One of the things to note is if you do have color codes that you're using for branding purposes, you can copy and paste them right in, and our color finder will identify those colors as well. One of the things you're not able to see through the template builder at the moment is the selection tool. So there is a whole slew of fonts that Dana is able to choose from. They're just not appearing in this preview mode at the moment.
Now, the category that we chose above is going to be pre-selected down here, and we won't be able to change that. However, if you would like that to not appear in the published certificate, all you're going to do is choose a font size of 0, and then it goes away. I'll do that again. Let me move that text around so we can actually see it. And this is how you're going to move the text around on top of your certificate template by playing with the margins. You also then can left and right align it, and that looks like a good spot for me, so I'm going to leave that there. But let me just show you again what that looks like when we change the font size. Right now, Dean's List is there at a 20 pixel font size, and if I change that to 0, we can see that it is now no longer in the template. So you can do that with any of these student information, any of the student information that you're adding to the template. But of course, we do want to recognize our students, so we should include their names as well as the semester that they are receiving this certificate for. The student name and the semester are just random. They're just in there so that you can see them in the preview. This is not going to be, it's not going to say Facebook test student when you publish. It's going to say your student's name. It's also not going to default to spring of 2021. It's going to apply to whenever the achievement was issued to that student, but it's in there so that we can see what that looks like in terms of previewing what our final certificate will look like once we publish.
And this is why we think about it as an extension of the achievement workflow, because it does depend on the variables that you're selecting during your publishing of the achievement, specifically being the category of the achievement as well as the semester associated with that achievement. Again, because they are retroactive, everything that you've already pre-selected and published will retroactively receive the correct information in those student accounts.
Exactly. So the certificate looks good on my end. I'm totally fine with the way everything's laid out. So what I'm going to do is now create and publish my certificate. Just so that you are all aware, once you select this button, the certificate is live. So it does get published again retroactively to any students who have received a Dean's List achievement in the past. So make sure that you go through and proof everything before you hit this button, because these will appear in student accounts. Again, they're not going to be notified. They won't be issued a new email or anything, but the certificate will be live once you select this button.
So while we create and publish and wait for that to come through, Dana, let's say I did publish it, but I wanted to make a tweak, like that color was wrong or somebody had alteration to the background image. Are we able to edit them in real time?
Yes. So you can see now under our list of published certificates, we can see that Dean's List now appears. And if we do want to edit it, all we're going to do is select the name of the certificate. It'll let you know when the certificate was created and when it was last updated. And then you're able to go back through and edit any of these fields if you do need to make any changes.
Great. And Carly had a question. We can create our own templates, correct? Yes. So you can create your own templates and upload them into your account. This feature is now active in all of your accounts. So if you log in, head over to settings, you'll see that drop down for certificates available to you. We do also have an exclusive offer just to our webinar participants today. Here at Merit, we look to do everything we can to make sure you can utilize all of the features within your Merit account. And we are offering to design certificates for you at no cost. So that way you can use them with your spring achievements this year. So we'll have a little bit more information about how to take advantage of that offer as we conclude our presentation today. But if you're wondering how do you get these beautiful images created and uploaded into your account, we're here to support you as well.
So what we're going to do next is show you how you would then make sure that your certificate is aligned with the achievement that you're publishing. And we have an achievement draft already built up. You are all very familiar with working through the achievement workflow, so I'm not going to go entirely through it. We have everything pre-filled, but I do want to point out the area that will be of the most importance when you are publishing to make sure that your certificate is also being added to your achievement once it is published. Now, remember when we made our certificate, we made it for the category type of Dean's List. So that would be the category that I need to choose for this achievement in order for my Dean's List certificate template to then be awarded to students who are receiving this achievement. If I chose a different category, then my Dean's List certificate would then not be applied to this achievement. So we do want to double check and make sure that we have Dean's List selected. And then we need to make sure that we are also choosing the correct semester for when the certificate should be, or for what this achievement is for. And of course, for this one, we are choosing spring of 2021. And that's really it. That's the only part that you need to pay attention to in the achievement workflow. That's the only thing that doesn't really change, but just is something that you do want to note if you do want to include a certificate with the achievement that you're publishing. So I'm going to go ahead and go down here, and I am going to preview so that we can show you what this looks like once it goes live. Again, here is that email that is going to show up in Samantha's account. We are going to go in and click on that button once it goes through, but this is what that email will look like, letting her know that she has now been awarded a certificate for this achievement.
So one of the benefits here, if you're ever wondering, you're in an achievement workflow, you're going to publish and you're not sure if there is a certificate attached to that achievement type, you can go to the preview stage and that yellow bar will appear in the student email preview if a certificate is tied to that achievement type. If there is no yellow bar, super easy way to know that there is no certificate associated, you can save it as a draft, because again, we save in real time, and head over to your settings and upload a certificate if you would like to do so. So right now, Dana's waiting for that email to pop over in my inbox. I'm going to answer a couple of the questions that came through. So Jeremy, you mentioned, will a change to a template become retroactive once you've uploaded a new template? So yes, so the template that is currently live will always be the template associated with the certificates in any account. So in real time, it publishes and updates across all active certificates that were issued. So a couple of pointers in regards to the design of that template is a date field is something you'll likely want to disclude. Your date field will be replaced by the semester associated with that achievement. So for example, if you had your president's signature and then you were to typically add a date to that certificate, use the semester field within the certificate workflow to act as that date field. So when it retroactively applies to all certificates and applies to all future certificates, that date is no longer invalid. A couple of other questions we'll get to after we take a look at what the certificate looks like.
Awesome. So here we go. We've got the email in Samantha's inbox. We can see that we have that yellow button that lets us know that a certificate has also been applied to this achievement. So I'm going to choose that. And now we are in Samantha's account, and we can see that her certificate has been added. And if we select that, we can see our template has been appropriately applied to Samantha. We have her name in there, as well as the spring semester of when she earned Dean's List. So congratulations, Samantha, on earning Dean's List.
And of course, for everything, right?
We removed that category field so it doesn't say Dean's List. And the reason why we did that is because we have our little byline down here within our certificate template. So we didn't want to duplicate any of that information within the certificate. But that is exactly how you would go through and build a certificate within your account, as well as apply it to any achievements that you are publishing. And I'm going to pop back into our deck here so that we can get going with the rest of our presentation.
And so there are a couple questions coming through in terms of the specs required to design these certificates. So I did just chat through a link to our help desk, our knowledge base article on printable certificates. So yes, you are totally able to design your own certificates to your own specs. Today's examples are just a few ideas to get the ball rolling. If you have your own graphic designers, utilize them. Make sure when you send over that work request, you include the link, which will give you all of the ratios and specs needed to design that certificate. Then once you go in the account, as Dana showed us, you can move around where you want the student name field, the achievement type, as well as the semester type to be associated with that image. Let's see what else. We had a couple of other questions come through, Dana, as well.
Okay.
Or are just, so let's see, question is similar in nature. Can our design be custom, or are there specs for this one? or are we just designing them from the options within the platform? Nope. So like that other question, you can design away however you would like. I mean, honestly, if you would like them just to be purely white space and a little bit of logo or a very big graphic, you can go ahead and do that. And then let's see, we present departmental awards to students each spring, but each award has a different name. Is there a way to add this kind of personalization? So I'm extremely excited to say not only is this the launch of our certificates, but this is also just the first iteration of it. We do have a couple of other updates that we'll be rolling out over the next few weeks. One of them will be, for example, in that publishing sequence, we will have the ability to publish a certificate as a draft in case you would like multiple people internally to proof that draft before it does go live. With that, if you find like Stephanie, for example, that you have multiple awards you would like to use certificates for, and the achievement types don't necessarily match up 100%, go ahead and email myself or your CSM or even our help desk at meritpages.com, and we'll make sure we can as closely align an achievement type with the certificates and your achievement workflow. So we'll do as much as we can to align those for you. And let's see, Jeremy had another question. There might be achievements for which we don't want to issue a certificate, where there'll be separate student email templates, one for those without. So yes, Jeremy. So the biggest thing is going to be don't upload a certificate for any achievement type you do not want one issued for. The other thing as well is you can always use other. Other would be a great way if there is no overarching achievement type, or you want to make sure a certificate is not issued, you could use other as that achievement type and it would not issue one. If you're doing a Dean's List, let's say, in one semester you don't want to issue Dean's List printable certificates, there is no option there. It's either all or nothing. But you can definitely choose not to use certificates. That is definitely an option in your account. So I hope I've answered those questions with clear, concise answers on how you can move forward with certificates. If I haven't, feel free to chat me a future question or any additional questions that you come up with, and we'll definitely address those for you. So I know I mentioned that we were going to offer you guys some design services. So as you see here are just a couple examples of what certificates can look like in your account, but we can customize them to your institution's branding, colors, and your specifics to make sure that you can use certificates this semester. If you are one of our clients that does have a graphic design team on hand, that is awesome. And we look forward to using that help desk article to get them to design these for you. But if not, we've got your back. So Dana, why don't you tell us a little bit about what we need to know in order to design certificates for our clients today?
Sure. So what you're going to do is send in your request to dan@meritpages.com. He is our in-house designer, so he'll be able to design your certificate to the exact specifications that you would like. But he also needs some information from you. So if you want to include a logo in your certificate, please send him that graphic so that he can use it, as well as any placement instructions. So if you can see on our Outstanding Arts Performance certificate example, we have the Merit logo, but it's cropped in half because we have it all the way left aligned, so only half of it is showing. So placement instructions like that will help our designer make your certificate exactly the way you want it to be. Also include any signatures that you would like added to the certificate. Text exactly how you would like to appear. Our designer is simply going to copy and paste the text that you provide him. So make sure that you have it proofed before you send it over. And then also give us any details on the colors you would like used within the certificate design, or for the text that will be on their certificate. And then lastly, if you have any additional design notes that you want to send over, make sure that you include those. Dan will create your certificate, and then you will have one round of a review. So he will send it over for proof, and if you want anything changed, that will be your time to request any changes, and then you will receive your final certificate template.
Many of our schools that may be currently issuing printable certificates or certificates via your recognition department, you can also send us an example of what you're currently using with all of those file assets, and we can recreate that for you. So I told Dan we were going to bombard his inbox, so I hope you all take advantage of this offer today. And I would encourage, if you are going to have multiple certificates designed, to please send them individually. One, because we'll hit his inbox with a ton of emails. That'll make me laugh when he complains about it. And two, it'll make sure that there's just easy communication going back and forth on those rounds of proofs for you. But this offer will exist today if you take advantage, or in the coming months, as we want to make sure you can take advantage of every feature in Merit without any roadblocks to success. So a couple of you guys already asked how you can use these for different types of achievements and different ways you can customize your strategy. So as we've already iterated, you do not have to issue a certificate if you do not want to. It is simply an extension of that achievement workflow, but some ways we've already concepted the execution of achievements to increase that tangibility of our achievements is things like Dean's List, honors. Dana, probably you would have gotten a million of these for your athletics performance when you were an undergrad.
Well, what can I say?
I know, right? Our soccer star over here, guys. Arts performances are a great way. So lots of schools utilize merit achievements to acknowledge students participating in clubs and organizations. And then, of course, all of those great awards like President's Lists and graduation are great ways to also increase the tangibility in an ever digital world, especially with our achievements. And if you're looking for resources when it comes to certificates, as you've seen via chat, there is a knowledge base article now live, just like certificates are live in your account. As always, Dave, Ryan, Jen, our fabulous support team is here to help you in any way possible. And you can reach us all directly at help@meritpages.com. I will encourage you, if you have questions and would like to go through this together, we can schedule a call with your CSM here at Merit and we can walk you through it in real time, even help you build the certificates if you have any questions. And like we mentioned, go ahead and bombard Dan's inbox today with that certificate design request. That is our webinar for certificates. It's really as simple as that, guys, and we really look forward to you jumping in and taking advantage of it. If you have any last questions, feel free to chat them through. Otherwise, Dana, any last tidbits of knowledge?
No, I just wanted to share that this is the first official launch of certificates, and they are going to receive rounds of improvements after this. So make sure that you're keeping an eye out on your inbox for emails from Merit on letting you know when new features are going to be added to certificates and how they're going to be changing for the better throughout the future. So keep an eye out on your inbox because that is how we'll be sending you most of our updates on this new feature.
And Dana is our email extraordinaire here at Merit, so she wants to make sure you don't unsubscribe to her content. If you're wondering if you can receive a copy of today's webinar, the email will go out tomorrow with also some quick linked resources like the knowledge base, Dan's email, as well as information if you'd like to reach out to your CSM for a scheduled call. We thank you all for your time today and good luck using certificates.
Bye, everyone.